Dad? Did you really go to Mom's job today?
You're damn right I did. I called that woman like 50 times and she didn't pick up. I had no choice but to go down to her job to see what was going on. The little brat they have working at the reception counter tried to turn me away. I yelled out her name in the lobby, but she was nowhere to be found. She didn't come out. Who she thinks she is?
You really need to stop. She was mortified that you came and caused a huge scene. You two are divorced now. You have no right to do what you did, even if you were still married. You're lucky they didn't call the police, which they probably should have done.
Your mother's the one who wanted to get divorced, not me. I was nice enough to forgive her for being so selfish and wanting that divorce. The least she could do was show her face when I come all the way down to her job to see her.
Selfish? How was Mom being selfish at all for wanting to divorce you? You were an alcoholic gambling addict. Don't pretend like she's the bad guy here. Stop treating her like she's your property.
When did I ever say she was my property?
You don't need to say it. That's how you treat her. Not to mention, you have the audacity to pester her for money after all that you've done to her.
I'm not putting a gun to her head. What's wrong with it anyway? She could have said no. Instead, she gave me what I wanted.
Enough. I know exactly what happened. I'm not stupid. You threatened her. You said if she didn't give you money, you would go to her job and try and get it from her.
Why didn't she just change jobs if she didn't want that to happen? Your mother really is a stupid person.
Why should she have to change jobs when you are the problem? She shouldn't have to risk earning less at a new job just because she's afraid of what you'll do. Not to mention the job market is tough right now. No one's hiring.
Speaking of earning less, doesn't she take a lot of time off from work? Not only that, she's working shorter hours than everyone else, right? Must be nice working for a company that gives in to your every selfish demand.
Yeah, she's missing a lot of work because her mental health is a wreck, thanks to you. Not like that's anything new, though. She had to live under your rule for the entire time you were married, and now she's scared for her life. Just leave her alone already. You've done enough damage as it is.
Jasmine, listen to me. Here's something you might not know about your mother. Yeah, she may have divorced me, but she really wants to come back to be with me again. That's how she really feels. She's proven that by constantly giving me money. You may be too young to know this, but the relationship between a man and a woman can be complicated like this. One day I'm sure you'll understand.
That is the absolute craziest thing I've ever heard. I told off Dad earlier. I told him to stay away from you. Oh, Jasmine. Thank you so much. But I don't think he's going to listen. I bet he'll be back in no time. About that, I think next time he tries to ask for money, you should tell him no. You have no obligation to give him anything anymore. You're right. I know I should stop, but what I want to say and what comes out when he's standing in front of me are two different things. To be honest, I'm too scared to say what I should. I know it's not the best solution, but I figure giving him money will make him go away. Oh, I'm so sorry to get you wrapped up in this, too. This isn't your fault. Don't apologize. Everything bad is happening because of him, especially your mental condition. I think you really need to put some distance between him. I know it would be hard, but how about we move again? Moving after we got divorced was quite expensive. I don't think I could afford moving again. Plus, he knows where I work, so moving won't solve the problem. You're right. I should have known that. I wish he never found out your new job and your new address. I would have never thought of all people your friend would let it slip to him. I take the blame for that. I should have told her not to tell him anything. I don't think it's your fault at all. If it were me, I'd be so embarrassed to tell my friends what an absolute piece of human garbage my husband turned out to be. Jasmine, you're such a sweet girl. I'm so proud to call you my daughter. Anyway, like I said, I'm so sorry to get you involved with this. It won't be much longer for you, though. Once you go away to college, you can focus on yourself and not have to worry about all of this. Mom, I already told you I want to stay here and work to help you out. I'd feel guilty if you pay for my college. You need that money more than I do. Absolutely not. You're the smartest person I know, and I won't allow you to not go to college. I don't know about that. I'm not strict about many things, but I won't take no for an answer here. Don't let things happening now ruin your chances of having a good future. I don't want your future to be ruined just because your father and I got divorced. Please, reconsider. Nothing would make me happier than you going to college. Fine. I'll work hard to become someone who can protect you from that monster. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I wish I was a stronger person. None of this would be happening if I was.
Hey, it's been a while, huh? I have a favor to ask you. You think you could lend me some money? Answer me, you idiot. I can see you're reading my texts. Pick up the phone. It's Carlos. Don't tell me you've forgotten your old husband.
Hello, this is Marcelin's lawyer, Jasmine Perkins.
Huh? Lawyer? Is that really you, Jasmine?
It's my understanding that you've been harassing my client, Marcelin, for a considerable length of time, including threatening her for money. In addition, you committed adultery prior to your divorce with my client. Is that correct? My client has chosen to move forward to sue for emotional damages from your abuse as well as your infidelity.
What?
Once I became a lawyer, I looked into you, and boy, you really are the scum of the earth. Mom and I have been biding our time and preparing our lawsuit against you. We were actually planning to get in touch with you sooner or later, but by a stroke of luck, here you are, asking for money yet again. We look forward to seeing you again in court.
Ah, yeah, right. You think you could sue me? You're just as stupid as your mother. All that happened years ago. You can't sue me for that now. It's been too long. And who are you kidding? You? A lawyer? Ah, no way.
The law states one can sue for emotional damages up to 3 years after a divorce.
Ah, see, I knew it.
However, that's under normal circumstances. Unfortunately for you, that doesn't apply to this situation. In the event a marriage is ended due to a spouse's affair, the statute of limitations in which someone can sue for compensation is extended from 3 years to 20 years.
Huh? Statute of what?
Allow me to explain it in more detail. Statute of limitations is the period of time in which one can face legal repercussions for one's actions. In your case, the actions that are eligible for legal action are adultery and abuse. Especially if that affair is the cause of divorce, which in my client's case, it was. The time in which someone can sue for emotional damages for an affair is 20 years from the date the affair began. Which means my client is well within her legal right to sue you for emotional damages, both from your affair and the abuse you put her through both during and after your marriage. Was that clear enough? Or should I explain it again to you on paper with crayons?
Do you think I'm stupid enough to believe that?
What you believe to be true or not has no bearing on what the law states. It also doesn't change the fact that your actions are punishable by law. Believe me when I say I plan on carrying out my client's requests and moving forward with a lawsuit against you.
Hang on. Do we really have to go to court over this? Oh, I can't deal with this. I have a new family to worry about. I don't want my new wife to find out about this.
Oh. Or is it really that you don't want your job to find out about this? I was shocked to hear an alcoholic, gambling addict like you actually got hired by a reputable company. I guess I should be grateful, though. It meant we didn't have to hear from you for a while. Your wife works at the same place as you, doesn't she? I wonder how both she and your co-workers would react if they found out all the abuse you put your ex-wife through.
All right, you win. You've made yourself very clear, Jasmine. You've really grown up, haven't you? I'm so proud of you. I'm lucky to be your father.
Don't waste your time saying things like that. The only family I have is my mother. You mean nothing to me. You need to finally own up to what you've done to her and pay for your horrible actions.
I was so young back then. I had no idea what I was doing. Since then, I've done a lot of soul searching. I feel bad for what I've done. I have a good job and a family now. Can't you tell I've turned my life around? You should know, since you've obviously looked into my life.
Is that right? Then can you tell me why you texted Mom in the first place? You need money again, don't you? Did I read that right? Let me take a guess. You need money because you started gambling again?
Well, I thought it would be awkward to just say hello, so I said I needed money as a joke, to lighten the mood. To be honest, you and your mother have been on my mind recently. I want to make sure you two were okay. I am your father, after all.
A father who never paid a cent in child support. You didn't seem to be worried about us back then. Not only that, Mom told you she never wanted to speak to you again, and yet here you are, texting her against her wishes.
Listen, I'm happier than I've ever been before. My life is a dream right now. Are you seriously gonna try to ruin your father's life? Don't you think that's heartless?
And who is it that ruined my and Mom's lives in the first place? And don't try and pretend like asking for money was a joke. It's pathetic. The only reason your life is good right now is because you had to use and abuse us to get there. Neither of us will ever forgive you for that.
I promise I'll never talk to either of you again. I swear on my life. You'll never hear from me again. I'll be out of your hair for good.
Everyone's lives would have been so much better if you left us alone years ago. We wouldn't have dealt with your abuse back then, and you wouldn't be getting a monstrous lawsuit thrown at you now. This is all because of you. It's time to finally face the consequences of what you've done. That's all I have to say. Like I said, we'll see you in court. Hi, sweetheart. Is now a good time to talk? Hi, Mom. What's up? Did he text you again? He did, but I blocked him just like you said I should. Oh, I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my chest. I finally had the courage to stand up to him. That's right. You're so brave for doing it. I'm so happy you found a great therapist. You've made so much progress since you've been meeting with her. I was surprised when you agreed to press charges against him. It wasn't just because of therapy. You gave me the courage to do it, Jasmine. Not to mention you giving me the money to move away from him. Oh, you've grown up to be such a wonderful person and a great lawyer. I couldn't be more proud of you. Thank you for working so hard. Being able to help you makes all the hard work worthwhile. Are you sure we can sue him for everything you said we could? Yup. Everything I said was true. It hasn't been too long. But to be honest, we don't have much evidence from his affair. I really just wanted to scare the life out of him. I figured he'd do anything to stop this as soon as possible. So I'm betting that he'll try to settle out of court. We've got him exactly where we want him. He won't refuse our demands. This type of thing happens all the time in the legal world. Wow, you're amazing. Look at you. What a great lawyer. I told you I'd grow up and protect you from him. I kept my promise, Mom. I'll never let him hurt you again. After that, my father did exactly what I thought he would and settled out of court. In addition, he agreed to never come near either of us and to never try and get in contact with us ever again. He had to pay a crazy amount of money to my mother in the settlement. He did everything in his power to keep this from his new wife. Despite his best efforts, she obviously found out when nearly all the money in their savings account vanished. She grilled him about where the money went, and eventually he told her about the settlement. Not long after, she called up the law office I worked at and asked to talk with me. I told her everything about what my father had done to us in the past. After hearing about what an awful person he is, she decided to take their 2-year-old and file for divorce against him. Just like I thought, they originally met at his new job. She told everyone there about him, and he quickly became public enemy number 1. Rightfully so, too. Who would want to associate with someone who threatened their wife to fund their gambling addiction? My father couldn't take the treatment from his coworkers for very long and decided to quit. The only place he could land a job was at a really sketchy construction company. His body was practically falling apart from all the manual labor he's doing now, but he can't afford to quit now that he's paying his wife for child support. Or so I thought. Sometime later, I heard he just stopped showing up to work, and nobody knew where he went. I tried to look into it, but it turns out he vanished into thin air. Who knows if he's even alive? My mom is still going to therapy, but she slowly weaned off the antidepressants she was on before. It's been years since I've seen her this happy. In fact, she's even found a really great man that she's been spending a lot of time with. Apparently, he experienced something similar to what my mom did. His marriage ended badly because his wife had an affair. They're both turning their negative experiences into something they can confide in each other. After having been through that, they're taking extra care to treat each other right. I really hope things work out for my mom. She deserves it. As for me, I'm working hard and getting as much experience as I can. I'm going to keep doing my best to stand up for people like my mom who need my help.